Okay, so here we go. Right back to my childhood when I lived in a caravan in Gosport in Portsmouth. My dad was in the Navy. My mum was an ex-Ren. So my dad was always away at seas. And so it was just me, my mum and my brother living in this caravan site, which I think maybe was the naval base. That's how I tell it to people. But I just remember rows and rows of caravans. There was a big forest at the back of the caravan where we used to go and play. Life was different then. You didn't have to worry about idiots out there. We would go and we'd explore this forest, and it was like the Goonies. Every day was an adventure. There was a big wooden climbing frame in the middle of the caravan site. There was a club where people could go at night time and get drinks. And I always remember the little chocolate footballs that my mum would sneak for us. So that was fun. So it wasn't a bad childhood, not that I remember it. Didn't see dad very often. And when he was back, don't have that many memories of him anyway. But it was just me, my brother, and the dog Sheba. So my first memories, or my first experience of cancer, is one of those that you don't know what's happening. All I remember is went to the doctors. It was just me and my mum, so I'm assuming Richard was with the childminder. We went in, and I remember it was a big open reception. I remember it was felt a little bit futuristic. I remember it was near the forest. There was loads of windows, and I sat down, and I was colouring in it would have been a Superman picture. That might be wrong, but I remember it being a Superman picture. And my mum went into a side room. Here's the thing. She came out crying. At the time, my feelings towards that were of anger at the doctor. I remember not thinking why my mum was crying, that the fact that this guy had made my mum cry. And I remember feeling angry that my mum was crying because of this guy. So my anger was aimed at him. Didn't know why. Ran over to my mum, and I distinctly remember saying, "What's he done? What's happened?" Now, I couldn't have been any older than 4, so trying to process your mum crying is never easy at any age, but I'm sure I was 4 years old at this stage. It was horrible to see her crying. She was sobbing. She said there was nothing wrong. Just it wasn't feeling too well, and it all got to her. But let's go home. Let's go and have some treats. And then we went home, and that's my first memory of. I didn't know it was cancer, and that's going to come later on as I start telling the story, as all this starts to evolve. But one of my very first memories is seeing my mum crying, not knowing why, blaming the doctor. And so I think I have a problem with doctors. It's not their fault to give bad news, it's what they do. But you'll hear going on my own personal journeys with doctors, some good, some bad, and things I can't get my head around of. But yeah, first memory of what would become breast cancer was mum coming out the doctor's office, crying her eyes out, and just wanting to help her so she wasn't crying anymore. There will be better stories that's not revolved around crying and people being upset. This whole thing is centered around fighting, and that's what you'll see later on. It's about not taking what you're told, not living with you're going to be gone in 3 months or 6 months. It's fuck you, absolutely not. I'm not having that at all. I'll see you in the next one.